Yes, of course. They do this all the time. They sell you something that is OP, that is the best ever for a couple weeks, then they nerf it, and then they sell you, well, maybe the exact same thing, but now with the stats of the thing they already nerfed and sold you just a few weeks ago. Guys, as always, welcome to the channel. And in this case, reading the concerns from the folks in Spectrum as they continue in their journey with this CI greed, scammy business model / alpha. FHC, overpriced space coffee. It used to be that the FHC Lightning was the coolest thing ever. You were master of the skies and space if you had the FHC. Now, may as well elaborate on some theme. All heavy fighters suck. CIG sells you solutions to problems they created. Just go buy the Hornet MK2. Yeah, and it's the same thing for this other one. Where is it? Like another space coughing Vanguard series. So Vanguard series, an overpriced space coffin, is the best way to go if you want to fly a giant metal coffin. You can only choose from lasers, laser cannon, distortion. Why is the range of projectile speed so narrow? Well, master modes wreck ships. Yes, there's that. But you know what? It's also about CI greed. Remember, it's CI greed. Can interiorize greed. What is the RCI for? You know what? It doesn't matter, because greed is the only thing that matters for CI greed. They didn't even bother giving any proper words to the other letters. It's CI greed. See, you see how I greed? That's what CI greed actually means. Yeah, I mean, let's try to have a little bit of fun here. I remember back in the day when I first started playing, I started playing with my Avenger Titan. You know, that was the thing, and I loved my Titan. I mean, obviously up until Master Modes where they killed the entire game, but flying with my Avenger Titan was fucking fun. You could do a little bit of combat, you can move a little bit of boxes here and around, and so on. Avenger Titan was great back then. I had a lot of fun with this game up until they became so disgustingly greedy and just would not allow anything else to be done other than selling more ships, and nerfing things and time sink and mostly master modes. That was the worst. But I would go with my Avenger Titan, do missions, make a little bit of money, and then I would go buy my Vanguard, right? And that was, at that moment, it was flying the Sentinel. Why the Sentinel? Why? The Sentinel was fast, but it also had an EMP. So you would just go around with your Sentinel, bringing down the shields of it, and all of these things actually worked. It was crazy. It was a lot better. It was a lot better 4 years ago. But you would shoot down the shield and then activate the EMP, and the EMP, whatever it was, as EMP is supposed to do, once you brought down the shield, boom, the EMP just shuts down the ship and it just falls. And that was awesome, man. That was a lot of fun. And then you could, change the weapons, and you could have some of the other Vanguards. But the Vanguard was great. I mean, for a long time, the Vanguard was probably the best ship in the game. You had a bed, you had decent internal inventory, which is now lost. We don't have internal inventory anymore, which is, of course, more about the time sink and wasting time and bullshitting with not being able to do simple things in a game. But for a long time, the Vanguard was great. But then they got into this, even more and more so. I mean, it was always the case that whatever was being sold new was usually going to be OP and better. But they were a little bit more respectful. They were a little bit less CI greed. They were still then CI greedy? No, it's now pure CI greed. And now, what they're doing now, it is so disgustingly bad and obvious and repulsive that they just sell you something with a shit ton of guns and then they kill it. They nerf it, they balance it, and they sell you the same thing, Mark II, Mark III, Mark whatever, because they're not even bothering with making an actual new ship. I mean, they always have something in the pipeline because as greedy and disgusting as they are, they're not stupid in terms of how they go about their money-making business. So they know they always have a couple ships in the pipeline. So every 6 months or so, you will actually see a ship that, oh, yeah, that looks interesting. Wow, that's actually super powerful. And then for those that are a little bit more experienced, yeah, I'm not falling for this scam ever again. You're just going to do the same thing. You're gonna sell me something, then you kill it, you nerf it, and you do that just in time for the new thing I'm supposed to go and buy. And I mean, to be honest, with people that have been fooled enough into this, you could probably melt something and go on this cycle for a very long time. Careful though, because they're wising up to this and also figuring ways of making, you know, the money you melt and so on not being as good. And there's always gonna be the monetization experts. That's the money they really spend, not on. I mean, they fired the people that actually were good at their job. Todd Pappy and so on, all of those people that were... Todd Pappy was always like a little bit ashamed of being involved in Star Citizen. He was always a little bit ashamed of being part of CIG. Something about the body language, tone of voice. Let me know if you agree with me or not. I think he was always ashamed, but that's the way I see it. All of those guys that were actually good at their job, they left. They have a bunch of interns right now or minimal wage, you know, developers that could not find something better to do in their with their careers, with their jobs, and they're being fucking abused with not that great wage, which is something that we know of them at this point, which is kind of messed up, but whatever. Again, CI greed. So greedy ass business model, hiring the cheapest of the cheap that they can find and only paying enough just to actually have people work for them, because if not, they wouldn't even have that. And it's always going to be your 20, very little else year-old somewhat guy that is, you know, not good at what he does. And that's okay. They don't need anyone good at anything. They will just need... and they hire maybe some of these external contractors for when they want to do a nicer ship, because they even lost that. They don't even have good talent at this point. What's the name of that guy? The one that's like a contractor for them that does when they need an actual nicer looking ship, they get that guy. It is disgusting. CIG has turned into a disgusting company. It is repulsive what they have turned into. Again, why is it that you even do these things? You know why? Because this channel is called fucking Gem Reviews. And Gem will continue to review until I actually see a game that is released. The day I see this shit fully released, I will give you the proper review and I'll never, ever bother with it again. But for the guy that told me, dude, this is like buying shitty pizza from the same place and keep buying from it and complaining again. No, it is not. This is me buying a very expensive pizza from the pizza place that still has not fucking delivered the pizza to me. And I'm giving them a shitty review because it's been years since I'm waiting for my pizza. And I'll keep on leaving those shitty reviews in Google or wherever the hell it is. I'll keep on leaving those shitty reviews because this is what I can review. I can only review the updates. I can only review the new patches. I can only review this. And this is the review I give them. And I'll keep giving it up until I see it. And if I see a good patch, if I see even look how kind and good-hearted I am. Even if I see a patch that has actual good content without actually having a good, proper game delivered, I will go, dude, this patch is actually very good. I'm actually enjoying this. Things have gotten a lot better. This is actual new content. I'm going to other places that are fun. I'm seeing things that are new. I'm enjoying my time with this game. I will be the first one to say that. Up until this point, this is what we have.